everybody, and welcome to the train. My name is John Durrant, and this is my guest today, and my guest today is Lorena, and Lorena is a very old friend of mine. And Lorena is here to talk to us today, or to talk with me today, about theta healing, about communicating with animals, and about Native American Indians, and lots of things, but mainly around healing, and mainly around animals. But Lorena, what I'd like you to tell me about is, how did all this start? Where does all this come from? We were talking about your own personal healing, so where does all this come from?
Where did it all start?
Yeah.
It started blank.
A long time ago?
Yeah, many years ago. When the children were small, I was living in North Wales, and I realised that I needed to do some self-healing. I'd been doing artwork, which is where the American Indians came into my life. It came through my artwork, because I'd met some when I was in America, and it intrigued me. So through the artwork started the interest in Northern American Indians. Okay, and I started to write a thesis about their ceremonies, like the potlatch and the sweat lodges that they did. I started to take an interest in that, and because of that I met a wonderful man called Duncan Wardsley. He's still in North Wales, and I did a 2-year shamanic course with him.
Stop right there, please. Can I ask you a bit more? First of all, you mentioned how you came across the American Indians and how you realised that this was something which meant something to you.
Yes.
And it was special.
Yes.
Tell me about that, because
it was a moment. It was their energy that was special. I'd never met American Indians before.
Okay.
That particular trip to America, but I knew who they were, and their energy touched my solar plexus. It started to bounce. So I knew who they were, and I thought, actually, I don't know much about their culture and these people, but they're very special. And all I knew about them was what I'd seen on the 20th Century Fox, basically.
Yeah.
So when I got home and started the artwork, I looked into it and read as much as I could about them and their beauty way and how they live according to nature and the land, about their ceremonies, and it came through the art, yes.
So then, as well, came the shamanic journey.
Yes.
And I've heard a lot about shamans. I hear this name thrown about quite a lot. What does it mean? And I know it doesn't just appertain to North American Indians.
No.
Shaman are...
Okay, this is my understanding.
Okay.
Shaman is a name. Okay, there are many shamans in many cultures, and they're given different names. So in some cultures they're called shamans, in some they're called medicine men, in some they're called healers, in some they're called mediums. They have different names. Okay. It's their ability to connect with the energy of all that is, that energy, their ability to use their intuition and psychic gifts to travel into other worlds, and those worlds are the spirit world, the underworld, the world of angels, the world of fairies, whatever worlds. There are many worlds out there. So their ability to use their intuition and psychic abilities to go there and heal people. So in a village you would have one person that could do that. The same thing here in England would have been one woman who was a medicine woman, who uses natural remedies.
Who might have been a witch.
Could have been a witch. To see different names.
Yeah.
Who would use herbs and plants and trees and animals and nature to heal. And they're doing it. So now, whereas at one time the word shaman was so mysterious and unknown to us, now, especially now when people are waking up more and more, there are shamans everywhere.
So I just want to take a little bit of a step back there, because you said the energy hit you in your solar plexus
It did,
and made
yeah.
you bounce.
Mm.
A physical thing,
Mm.
a physical manifestation of that energy.
Mm.
And then we talk about shaman, or people, can we say people who have a knowledge, or people who have a feeling, or people who are aware, have an awareness. Is that
Yeah,
a
they take
reasonable
it,
thing to say?
not quite,
Okay.
because they are tuned into, they've practiced probably from an early age, or they know how to use their energy to travel into different worlds and heal others.
It's all about healing with shame, isn't it?
Yes.
Or,
Yeah.
in fact,
And they use their medicine plants.
would you say that when we talk about things like a medium, a spiritual medium, giving a message to somebody which gives them comfort that they need, this is a form of healing?
Yes.
So in actual fact, I'm sorry, I'm suddenly taken, everything seems to just be coming together, and it's really a very big thing to actually take aware of, become aware of. And the way you putting this across has just made me stop and think.
Okay.
And I think that's
This is-
really
Yeah.
stopping and thinking.
Yeah, because this is the way I see it.
Yeah.
We are human beings, and it's a natural thing for human beings to be a healer. And as a human being, it's a natural sense to have intuition and psychic abilities. We all have them. We were all born with them. We've all got it. But like everything, it depends on how developed it is. How much have we practiced it, and how much are we aware of it, and how our subconscious programming and belief systems allow us to be it, because we're blocked. We're
Yeah.
blocked because we're afraid of being ridiculed, we're afraid of expressing our psychic abilities in case we've got it wrong, whatever. We are blocked. Okay. But when those blocks are removed, then we have that sense of freedom, and we can be who we truly are, the human being with all these abilities.
You are giving me so many different ideas suddenly, because I hate to say this, but we do both come from the same sort of period of time when it was the summer of love and people were thinking differently. And that thinking differently, maybe I've got this wrong, but seems to be coming through with this generation, and it's being spread to younger generations.
It is with this generation, but it's because there's been such a shift, a planetary shift. I don't know whether it's the 2012 shift. There has definitely been a cosmic planetary shift. So our vibrations are rising, the planet's vibrations are rising, human beings' vibrations are rising. And some people are going with it, and some people are still asleep and are not going with it. It doesn't mean that they can't.
No, doesn't it just wake them up?
Just wake them up.
Okay, I love that.
Because it's all energy.
Right, we're back to this again. This program has always been about energy and how you use it,
Yes.
and how you can actually feel it and
Yeah.
grab hold of it.
Yes.
But it's how you use it inside.
Yes, and also what you know about it. And I would suggest to anybody who's listening to start looking at these wonderful scientists who are stepping forward and bringing science and spirituality together. The likes of Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden. These are wonderful guys, Joe Dispenza. These are wonderful people, doctors and scientists who are stepping forward now. You'll see them on YouTube, giving you the quantum physics explanation to what energy is about.
So it's not all about Sheldon then.
No,
Sorry.
I don't know what that means.
Okay. Who are those people again? Gary
Greg Braden.
Greg Braden. What
Bruce Lipton.
what sort of things are these guys involved in?
They're scientists who have this is my understanding.
Yeah.
Who have studied quantum physics. Okay, so that is the study of energy waves between the atoms. So there's physics, which is the mechanical study of atoms, and there's quantum physics, which is the study of energy waves. And everything is waves of energy. We have radio waves, TV waves, internet
And
waves.
everything about us.
Us, we are pure energy.
And we all
So
vibrate.
therefore it's all about vibration and frequency. So if we rise our vibration, and how do we do that? We do that through forgiveness, through love, through letting go of the past, through clearing our belief systems and programming that blocks us. We raise our vibrations, and the frequencies is connecting with energy so that we can, through the power of intent and focus, change our lives, change our health, create the reality that we really want to create. And when we work on ourselves, then we can work on our family, our community and the world. And that is how the world's going to change. Through the power of love, which is a high vibration, forgiveness, and complete understanding that we are not just this physical form, we are multi-dimensional vibrational beings.
What I love about this is yeah, good. What I love about this is we've heard all this before.
Yes.
Over on this programme, over the last few weeks,
Oh,
we've
right.
heard all this before. And my colleague over there is nodding away quite sagely, but we have heard it all before.
Because the truth is
But
the
you're,
truth.
yeah, but you're putting it into you brought all these things together quite quickly, which is nice. I want to ask you something else now, because I know that you discovered a thing called theta healing, and that you, for yourself, and I'm not saying you discovered it and invented it, but what I'm saying,
But I met the woman who brought it to ground.
tell me about it,
She's
please.
an American lady, she's a wonderful lady called Diana Stiebel. Now she brought it to ground, taking it across the world. Theta healing. But basically it's healing through the theta brainwave.
Okay.
Okay, and the theta brainwave is a slow brainwave. It's where we are, where we're in a deep meditation. I'm doing this because I like to. People say that's
Here comes the river.
yeah, I know. I've had students that say Lorena talk. Because that's what it feels like.
That's going to be it now, Lorena Talk.
Lorena
And
Talk.
here we have, on our show today is Lorena Talk.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a theta brainwave which is slow, which is where we are when we're in a deep meditation, where we are when we're just about to go to sleep. Yeah.
This is where we get alpha waves, beta waves and theta waves.
Yeah, well alpha is where we are now because we're
Yeah.
talking and communicating. Theta is very slow. What she has been able to do is to show people how to connect through meditation to that brainwave, theta brainwave, and alpha at the same time, and how to use our power of intent to release trauma, release pain, release the past, keep us in the present. That's what Diana was able to do, right? And I came across it in 2009 and did the courses that you have to do, the basic, the advanced and so on, and went on to teach it for 5 years. Since 2009, that's what I work with the theta brainwave.
You keep saying these things here. Okay, John, ball's in your court now.
No.
It's what I'm thinking here is because when you were talking about that, and you're talking about releasing the past and releasing what's going on inside. If you go to a counselling session, if you go to a psychiatrist, they're all talking about much the same thing, but they're doing it at a different, completely different kind of level.
Yeah, and it's a new paradigm. We don't have to do it like that.
No,
anymore.
exactly.
It can be done very quickly.
Exactly.
In fact, very fast. I can connect with you do a reading on you, which means I'm reading your energy field, I'm reading your body and energy field, connecting with your thoughts and your subconscious, and able to tell you what your most important, crucial issues are, and help you release them and change them.
This sounds, actually, we had a young lady on here a couple of weeks ago called Denise Oliver, who was talking about access bars and talking about releasing. And we had somebody on here about 6 weeks ago who was a healer who was talking about releasing energy and taking away the blocks. And if I could go on and on and on about different people we've had, it seems to me like everything is, I hate to say the same, but everything seems to have the same target, the same end, the same aim.
Yes.
And the aim is to actually
Heal ourselves.
and open ourselves
All
up.
our crap.
Yeah.
Releasing all the rubbish that we kept, the guilt, the shame, the blame, releasing all of this. Let me tell you something. A few years ago, was it 2-3 years ago, I was in Peru with the shamans doing the medicine plants. It was tough. I went with a very good friend of mine, Shannon O'Flaherty, who you will see on Facebook if you want to find her.
Okay.
Because she has for many years taken small groups of people to the shamans to do their healing. And I went with her. It was tough. Okay, it was not easy. For me, it was tough. I was high altitude, taking the medicine plants. It was tough, but it was such a healing experience. And the main message that the shamans told me over and over again, didn't matter what I talked about, what issues I brought up, what shame, blame, guilt I have, didn't matter what I spoke about, they kept saying the same thing. Forgive yourself, trust yourself, you are not your body, you are not your mind. And that's how we heal, when we recognise that we don't have to hold on to things that happened 5, 10, 20 years ago, or what our ancestors did, or what our parents did, because they're all just experiences. We are souls on a soul's journey, experiencing a human life.
And
that's it. And once we forgive what we've done, we've got this freedom, this liberation, and then we're clear beings for healing others as well, not just ourselves, others.
I am absolutely blown away by that.
And we can all do it. Everybody
Well,
can
exactly,
do it.
exactly. That's what I'm thinking. But the reason I'm blown away is it's a simplified way of saying all this other stuff that people say all the time, like, oh, you've got to do this or you've got to do that, or the 12-step program is a similar sort of thing. You've got to go and forgive everybody.
Yes.
But you have to denigrate yourself to do it. What you're saying is that you don't necessarily have to denigrate yourself to do it. You just recognise it and then let it go, basically.
Yeah, that's the hard bit, the letting go.
Now then, that's something else again.
Yeah, because the question is, why do we hold on to it? We have reasons why we hold on to things. People come to me and they say, I've come for a healing session with you, Lorena. And I go, great. Are you ready to heal? No. Why not? You've come for a healing session, but you're not ready to let it go because you're still learning from it. It's serving you in some way. Or in some cases, if I heal, then I'll lose my husband, or my daughter will leave home, or I'll lose my benefits, whatever. The people have different reasons for why they cannot let go. And it's finding what those reasons are, recognising them, and with the power of intent, releasing them. So that you can create the reality you want. We're all creating reality with our thoughts and our belief systems every day. So what's happening today for me is a direct result of what I was thinking about yesterday and the day before. Everything. Because everything's at the same time, isn't it?
Okay.
Hold on, let me finish. Past, present and future is all for now. So the more we are able to be in the now, which is the tough part, because half the time we're in the past or in the future. So the more we can be in the now, the more healing we can do. I hope that makes sense.
I'm actually digesting it because it does make sense, but I'm thinking I've heard that before.
It's warm in here.
I've heard that before. Notice these lines. It's nothing to do with shaman, it's nothing to do with theta healing, but I've heard that before about being the past, the present and the future. We really need to have it in the now. And it seems to me that that's quite an ancient thing, actually, because Chinese philosophy is about the now.
Buddhists.
The Indians, Buddhists, they think about the now.
Yeah.
Hindus think about the
Right,
now.
that's because the power is in the now. The power's not in the past. It's not there. It's gone.
It's not in the future because it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, it's all about being in the now. So you have to catch your thoughts. Be aware of what you're thinking about. And if you're thinking about something that happened in the past or in the future, you know you're not in the now. And how to be in the now comes with practice, which is what the Buddhists try and tell us.
Yes.
And the
Yeah.
Chinese,
Yeah, yeah.
it's all about the practice of being aware of what you're doing in the moment.
And this is about meditation, isn't it?
Yes.
About bringing it into the now and
The
being.
meditation helps because it quiets the mind. And the mind is just something that's full of knowledge. It's not even inside us, it's outside of us. It's chat, 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 chat.
It's going on all the
And it
time.
can completely control us. We're controlled by the chitter-chatter of our mind. Okay? And that's the thing meditation does, is quietens this down.
Okay.
So that we can really listen within
With it, what's
To
actually
our-
going, yeah.
to our inner voice. Because that's the true mind, that's the true brain, the inner voice.
I know there are a couple of other things you want to talk about, but I want to talk a bit more about theta healing. Because how does this work? If you're healing with somebody,
Yes.
how does this work, this
Well,
being in the now?
totally have to be in the now. So because I've worked on myself for a long time and I am practiced, when I work with you, work with somebody, I'm totally 100% in the now, with 100% intent to heal and clear your issues. And we wanted to briefly talk, I know you're looking at the clock.
Wait for it. It's okay, please don't worry about that. We'll talk about that later, another time. Because I can see a platform arriving and we're not going to have time to actually go into these other things as much as I'd like to. So because I really want to talk about healing animals and I really want to talk about that at length. But first of all, or finally, before we actually arrive at this platform, when you're healing somebody, when you're working with theta healing, does the person that you're working with have to be in a theta state? And how do you get them into that state? Or is it just a matter of...
Okay, let me answer it. No, they don't have to be. What they do have to be is to have the intent. Okay, so I am a facilitator of your healing. If you don't have the intent to be healed, it's not going to work. All you have to have is the intent and the belief that you can be healed.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but to me, that means that I'm opening myself to you to allow you to use the energy
Yes.
to actually
Yeah.
let me
That's
heal
why
myself.
that's why
Wow.
a good healer will always say, "Can I have your permission to do it?"
Yes, yes, I understand that.
Yeah, and you have to have permission and intent.
That-
It is as simple as that. It sounds so simple. and
It does, it does.
It is.
But tell me something. That sounds simple. That bit sounds simple. The bit that doesn't sound simple is actually where I make the journey to the point where you are, having worked on myself to become able to give that healing.
Why does it? What do you mean? It doesn't sound simple.
No, it sounds simple. What I'm saying is, what you've just said sounds simple. But what I'm saying is the complicated bit to me, difficult part from I see, is once you've facilitated that, I've then got to carry on working on myself.
Yes.
And that's the bit that,
Yeah.
that's the hard bit.
Yeah. Yes, it's true. Continuously working on ourselves to clear the rubbish that we're carrying. Yeah, absolutely. Every day I work on myself. Every time I'm triggered by something that's happening or something that someone says, it's an opportunity for me to heal whatever it's triggered inside me. Because at the end of the day, it's all an inside job.
This is an inside job.
It really
It's
is.
an inside job, folks.
Yes.
That's something I fully understand, and I can see that.
And if you want to know how to work on yourself, come to one of my classes.
Okay.
And I'll show you. I'll come for a healing
I
session.
know that you do healing sessions, and I know that you
And
do
classes.
pop-up healing spaces,
Yes.
and I know that you run classes.
Yes.
And what I would like to do is bring you back on the train,
Okay.
if that's okay. I'd like to bring you back on the train, and I would like to talk about those things, and I'd like to give you the opportunity to tell me all about animal healing.
Animal communication.
I'm sorry.
There's a difference.
Okay, I stand corrected.
That's okay, don't worry.
No,
No, because
appreciate that.
there's a difference. There's animal healing and there's animal communication, where I'm not healing the animal, I'm communicating with them, and they're telling me what their traumas are and what their relationship is with
We
their
are going to
owners.
talk about that, and we're going to talk about that at greater length when I bring you back on the train. But just for the moment, we are approaching this platform. We're going to have to stop, and I'm going to have to let you off as much as I don't want to. Lorena Granata, thank you very much for
Thank
coming
you.
on.
Thank
This
you
has
for
been
asking me.
absolutely super.
Thank
I've
you.
thoroughly enjoyed that. This has been The Train, and I've been John Durrant from Spiritual Connection. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again next week.